Jarabi?
Yes.
Okay.
So, hello everyone. Today we are in Mumbai at the IIFL Wealth Mumbai Grandmaster Open, which is supposed to be one of the biggest tournaments in India. And I'm joined by the very affable and famous international master of India, Vishal Sareen.
Good evening, everyone. Really having a good time out here in Mumbai. And thanks to Sagar, we are able to put this together, this live feed, which we hope to do it every day during the course of this, as well as the Under 13 Open, which is running concurrently with the IIFL Wealth Mumbai International Chess Tournament here at Mount Litera School International at BKC in Mumbai.
Yes, and the idea behind this is for you guys to learn from these great players. We have the top seed here, Abhijit Gupta, Timur Garev, and you can ask us questions as we analyze these games, talk about various things, and mainly I would try to pick the brain of the very experienced Vishal, who has been in the chess community for last 3 decades or so.
Yeah, a little over probably, but I don't know if the brain will function correctly or not. Definitely not at the level of these great players who are participating here as a top seeds. The top seed, incidentally, is Abhijit Gupta.
Who is your student?
Well, okay, that could be my claim to fame, not his. but definitely Abhijit, one of those top contenders here. But as we were checking already, he was found struggling in the first round itself, up against Kiran Manisha Mohanty. Let's have a look at the moves.
Yes, sure. And I mean, we would like to go through the moves, but before that, what do you think is Abhijit's biggest quality? As a trainer, you have worked with him for so long. What do you think he excels in?
I think he's a pretty committed guy when it comes to his own games, and at the same time, he's a worldly guy also. Like, it's not something that is missing or anything like that. He's thoroughly professional when it comes to playing chess, and that has been one of the key strengths behind his numerous successes.
So we have Yogesh Bist who asks here, am I the only viewer here? Well, we just started off, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to flow in.
Welcome, Yogesh. As the first viewer, we really are proud to welcome you here, and don't worry, we are sure that many more will be joining in soon.
Yes.
And we request you also to spread the word so that many more people can benefit from this live feed provided by Sagar.
And then he's already been contradicted by Anmol and Abhilash, so a lot of people flowing in. Keep your questions coming as we go through Abhijit Gupta's game. Abhijit is black over here, and Kiran Manisha Mohanty plays e4, and we have the Najdorf.
It's a Najdorf, yeah. Okay, not its first love, which has always been classical Sicilian, but again, I think
when the whole world plays
Najdorf,
yeah,
you have to comply with the massive public opinion which has remained in favor of Najdorf for many decades now.
Right. So Bishop G5, another Delhiite, Negi, who has analyzed this move.
Pretty deep, and well, this is Abhijit's move. I know about this. Yeah.
Knight BD7.
Knight BD7 and then Queen E2. Yeah, this is pretty normal. Yeah.
So this is all standard theory.
Yes. Okay. This is a theory which is not really in vogue, but which is still in its in a phase where it will become the mainstream theory soon.
So it's kind of this game could be important from the opening theory point of view at some point. Yeah.
Well,
G5.
Well, I think it's already there. It already exists. This move. Yeah.
Okay. Anuj Yadav says, hi Sagar. Anuj, welcome. And we are seeing this very interesting game, pawn sacrifice, and Kiran takes it.
Yeah, it's pretty normal in this position, Bishop B7. Right. I think all this has already been played. Probably we can check it.
Yes, but the main idea is that you are fighting for the e5 square now, which is an outpost. No knight can kick it out from there. Sorry, no pawn can kick the knight out from there. Long castle, e6, a3. Somehow White's play doesn't seem very ambitious, but he's a pawn up. I mean, she's a pawn up, and
okay, Kiran, I think has done pretty okay up till now. Okay, going for the going for the pawn when it was pretty clear when she went for this rouser kind of structure that she wants a full-blooded game.
Yes.
And which in itself is good news, because I mean, normally we find that people, when they're playing against much stronger player, I mean, Abhijit certainly has I think a few hundred points more than Kiran, and normally we find that there is some sort of a timid approach, especially in the earlier rounds when they're facing the much stronger players. But in here we don't see any of that, and I think it's a big plus, big boom, big bravo to Kiran Manisha for putting up this splendid show.
Yeah, definitely. Kiran is one of those fearless players. I myself have lost to her in the past, and she cannot be taken lightly for sure. There are a few questions. Abhilash Darla asks, isn't the Black King unsafe over here?
Oh well, we can say that again, but the point with the Knight off is that it is a very combative opening. It's not a timid kind of play where, you know, there is still a lot to be explored here. Keeping the king in the center is fine, because especially as we see the chances of this opening up opening of the E and D file doesn't look a real possibility, at least in the next few moves.
Right, so king on e8. I mean, I think Kasparov said on his DVD on Najdorf that if you are afraid to keep your king in the center, don't play the Najdorf.
Which is, I think, probably as good a saying as it goes. I mean, it's clear that Najdorf is not for the weak-hearted.
For sure. And Harish Kumar is here. He says hi to Vishal and me, so welcome. And a lot of people coming in. There was one question which we should discuss after seeing this game: is Vishy Anand becoming the world rapid champion?
Splendid lose. It was like it's very hard to explain those feelings when one of your countrymen, they went on to win world title. Anand has done it several times over decades, but this one was absolutely special. Like every time people or his critics, as they claim to write him off, he rises back like the Hulk, and he proves over and over again with, you know, some that solid straight punches. It was a very, very clean performance, like a truly worthy performance of Vishwanathan Anand. Undefeated over 15 rounds of play, beating Magnus Carlsen, beating Chris Schuck. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
You were just, before we started this stream, you were telling an anecdote about Anand and what sort of a voracious reader he is. Can you just tell us to the viewers what that is about?
Yeah, okay. I mean, these are stories I haven't. I have only heard, but obviously I never played in the same era. Like when he was already grandmaster, those were the days when we were actually playing in the national championships. So the point is, but I've heard so many stories about Anand, especially about his reading habits. Like he would read through a book, like in a chess book. I mean, that's what the point is. He would read through the chess books. Like he never needed a proper chessboard to describe anything. And he would just read through. Yeah, Informator, I mean, it used to be once in 6 months, about this thick copies of one periodical which would come once in 6 months, and it used to contain about 700-800 games. And I've heard from people that he would just read them, like, keep flipping pages and keep reading through them, all the games. And I don't know, one way or the other, it's clear that they were getting into his head. That's how he became world champion. And it's pretty unusual, because in those days, I'm talking about the 80s, there was no machine, there was no computer, and this was the only way to learn. And he picked those things so very fast. And obviously, I mean, the love for the game, the dedication that he put in, I mean, these are the things which have been extremely rewarding, and that's how he's become world champion so many times now.
Yes, and we are greatly thankful to what Anand has done. Without him, nothing of this would have existed. He is the patron of this event over here. He's coming on the last day of this tournament. All of you who are in Mumbai, and even if you are not, try to make it here on the last day. You might get a chance to interact with Vishy, and who knows, there's a simul also happening, so you might get to play him.
Yeah, okay. I think the simul playing might not be so easy, but then yes, it would be a rare opportunity to have Vishwanathan Anand visiting one of the Indian chess events. It doesn't happen quite often, and we really are very thankful to Vishy to have agreed to be the patron of this event.
Right. Speaking about this game, we have a few questions. That is, Aniket Kelgandre says, how dangerous is bishop on b7 for white?
Well, it probably is black's most active piece as of now, attacking e4, and well, the rook on h8 can also lay such claims, but okay, but bishop has at least moved once. Okay, black's idea would be to quickly develop the queen side, like probably queen will go to b6 or c7, rook to c8, and then start launching some sort of an attack on the queen side, because it's quite clear that black does not have all the time in the world. Because if you count the material already, one pawn down, and although this is a part of existing chess theory, so I mean there is a lot to be explored here.
Right. And there is one question which says, Swag Anna says, GM Parham has great chances here. What do you think? Huge fan of CB India. Well, thanks, Swag Anna. And Parham is a fresh face in Indian circuit. I'm very happy that he's here.
This is the first time that a young boy from Iran, traveling all the way, and he is a participant here. Really pleasure to host him. And yes, what he says is correct. From what I know of Parham, he is an exceptionally talented young man, and for sure many of the higher seats, there are not too many higher than him here anyway, but whoever they are, I mean, the boy certainly has in him to give them a run for their money.
Yes, I think he's a very huge favorite along with Abhijit, who's the top seed. So let's continue with this game over here. Rook c8, as you said, normal move, queen e1, bishop e7, knight f3. Ooh, rook h5.
Yeah, so he wants to transfer the other rook also to the c file, probably eyeing a sacrifice at c3 at some point, grabbing e4 and fighting for the initiative.
Right, so if nothing is done, then rook into c3 could become a big threat with knight into e4 coming up. Typical Sicilian ideas. h4 made sense to defend the bishop on g5.
And that's what.
You know your student well.
No, this is pretty easy for Sicilian, knight off, and these kind of structures. This is, but this we could see coming, yeah. In any case,
beautiful. And this time it's the structure is not going to get weakened, because Kiran took with the queen, but knight e4 was coming up, and now we have a few moves to consider. One is to just move the queen, and the other is bishop into e7.
I think.
Well, I think
moving the queen means some knight into g5, and the h pawn is pinned, so it won't be easy for white to recapture that.
But for example, queen e3
and knight g5,
and yeah, this is already losing.
So bishop g5 just loses material, heavy material at that.
Yeah, you're just piece down after this.
Yeah. So and there's not too much compensation there, is it? No, not too much.
So I think
so
Kiran
bishop into e7 is the only move probably. Yeah.
And you have to take on c3, because if you take just queen e7, then in the end white would be fine just moving the queen.
Yeah, okay, I think it will be hard to justify the exchange sacrifice.
Sure.
But now at least the pawns will be equal as you see it, so we enter a very interesting endgame probably.
Knight c3, bishop d8, knight d1.
And now just
and took on f3.
Tempering. I think this is an important intermezzo, because if black doesn't take on f3 and takes on d8 instead, just a move like bishop e2 followed by g4 might become a bit tricky.
Yeah, and the outside h passer is dangerous.
Suddenly, the h pawn, it has some impact. I think bishop into f3 is probably a good, nice intermezzo here.
But was white forced to take on d1? Could she not just move her bishop back, something like this?
Probably, but okay, what about what are the options here? Yeah, it's hard to suggest any other move other than knight f2.
Yeah, knight f2
so
looks
there's no
normal.
other move. Yeah,
and maybe I just move my rook to h2.
Okay, and
yeah, it seems as if the rook on h2 is misplaced, because g4 is not going to come soon. You can always put your knight on g4, and f5 maybe.
Yeah, I think black is not doing too badly here, despite the presence of two bishops. But probably this also was another
a possibility
yet, for surely. Yeah.
Maybe Kiran underestimated bishop into f3, because after here I think the only side which can really be pushing here would be black.
Yeah, clearly that's. So black essentially is playing for two results here, it seems like. It'll either be a draw or black will win.
Right. Bishop e2, knight f6, f4.
Okay, passed pawns must be pushed. That's the idea.
Yeah.
So h5. Yeah, it's pretty logical to play h5. Put the pawn on a white square. Here in this case it works because now one piece has to be tied down now on h6. Either the rook or the knight or the king. One of these three have to always attend to h6, and also temporarily. And by temporarily I mean for a decent period, the rook on h6 doesn't have anywhere to go. And it's gonna take a few moves. I think Kiran is doing pretty well here.
Black could have switched his pieces, would have been more happy. Rook
Yeah,
f6
yeah,
and
certainly.
knight
Yeah, rook on
f6.
f6. Oh, the white would be dead if rook would be on f6 here.
So knight d5, rook h4, f5. Abhijit is going to get his king into f.
Yeah,
to
so
f6.
that knight on d5 was a pretty decent idea. Yeah, now already it's time to play c4. Yeah, that's.
So black has his trumps, central, two pawns and f and e pawns, while white has the bishop and the h pawn.
Yeah, bishop and the h pawn, and I also see the a pawn falling soon. I mean, it'll be very tricky if black wants to preserve the a pawn. Then
Right now the rook is
yeah. Okay,
defending
currently
it.
the rook is defending. That's correct, but also I think in some time this will be trouble.
Yeah, knight f4.
So you're again threatening. Oh, what a trick! See, this is what I meant when I was thinking about like not to allow h6 at any point of time. So now if h6,
No,
I think,
I'm surprised. What is happening? Because I can go knight g6,
and now h7,
7. I can go back.
rook h5.
Rook h5.
Yeah, I'll just collect all the pawns.
No, come on. I mean, just rook f6.
Rook g5 and rook g8. Can't stop it.
Yes, but rook f8
Rook g8.
and then rook e8.
Oh, you also
Or
have king e7.
e8,
King e7. Yeah?
Did
Okay,
Kiran just blunder?
Can we just check it again? I think this is pretty interesting. I think this is probably the defining moment of the game. What exactly happened?
Okay, she took, and I must. Okay, Abhijit just moved king e7. So we are missing something. Definitely. Rook a6.
What's wrong with this move? h6 I think is imperative. It has to be played. Now knight g6. Probably here rook h5. Does that make more sense?
But I don't think white should, even if she loses the f pawn. I mean, even if Abhijit loses the f pawn, this.
Yeah, even then it would be. No, I don't know. I think something has gone wrong here. Is it the fault of the transmission or something?
Let me.
Because I think we ought to keep a tab on that as well. It doesn't look like.
No, the game has moved ahead like moves. So I have a feeling that there is no transmission error over here.
Okay, so
Oops.
which means can we quickly just hop across to that position?
No, I think it's fine. We go back.
But
to
this is really.
this
It
is
looks
how-
like we are missing either the obvious or Abhijit completely missed it, taking the bishop on a6. I think
come on,
we could be missing something very obvious here. I mean, it is possible. It's hard to imagine to go wrong.
h6 forced,
Yeah, everything is
and the
forced.
rook cannot go back. So knight must.
h7.
Yeah, h7, and
That would make sense.
knight h8.
What about rook b4? If it is any good, anyways.
Okay, one move is just to play rook back, but I'm also.
But you can also go rook d6, king e7, and rook d8. I think black would be just fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is
Looks
this is clearly. Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. It doesn't look. What's happening here? Was that a blunder? Have we seen the biggest blunder on board one already in this tournament in the very first round?
I'm not so sure about this, but well, I mean there seems no deviations, because you take the bishop and you.
Yeah. Or is that bishop too far for black to locate it? Really, it's on the other end of the tunnel. You know, it's
Come on, with so much time on the clock, I'm sure Abhijit did not miss it. He played King E7, Bishop B5, King F6, A4, and suddenly it turns out that White is the one who's pushing here.
Yeah, I mean it's not so clear, but okay, not exactly. I think King G5 now, Rook H1, and just Rook D6. Yeah, no, it looks not so bad for Black either. So you've collected the pawn back. Your pawns are faster, although they are in the center.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the bishop would be very useful piece to have because it defends as well as attacks here. So I have a feeling that White shouldn't be
F5,
worse.
Knight G3, and now what? Rook G1, F4.
Yes.
and
A6.
A6. That's already running away. Yeah. Oh,
A7.
A7. Oh, that's pretty cool.
C8, King B4.
Now.
Well, this looks dangerous. I mean,
okay, it would be a draw with the
how?
F3.
No, I take on G3, right? So
No.
You can't do
what
it.
I meant was Rook A8, Rook A1, and now F3.
okay, this is forced, and F3.
Bishop
Okay.
C6. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
So you take and play.
I'm just winning. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be winning. Yeah. Oh. So we are pretty much. It looks like we are well.
No, this
on
is
our way.
some transmission error, for sure. I can't believe Abhijit losing something like this.
No. The game has moved on many folds. I think probably someone to go out there and pay a visit.
Yeah, maybe. I guess if you could just check the top board, if the current position is
Take a picture. Probably. Yeah, that'll
is so
help.
bad for Abhijit.
It looks devastatingly lost. I mean, it doesn't look like
No, but-
White
but
is going to do much there.
I think the first question which has to be asked either to Abhijit or Kiran, if this is true, is why didn't you take the bishop? I mean, it's completely beyond my understanding right now. But I have seen many live commentaries where the commentators are just so confident about something, and then it turns out they missed something very.
That's
simple.
what I'm still pretty certain that we are missing something very obvious here, but the only problem is we can't figure it out what it is.
Yeah.
And do you have more questions, sir?
Yeah. Yogesh Bist asks, can you make a video showing openings for Black? Of course, this is not going to be a training thing, but.
We'd
In-
love to do that at some point of time.
In case you do suggest openings for Black for the viewers, what sort of
Okay,
openings
I've
are
been
good?
personally I'm a follower of the classical system of chess, so I prefer all the mainstream openings.
Mhm.
This is what I would suggest.
We
it's,
have Niklesh who just went there and took a picture, and yeah, it seems really bad for Abhijit because the current position shows he's an exchange down.
and with the
with the
little
people.
chance of survival. Yeah.
Yeah, very less.
Yes, I think it's pretty
so,
much.
So thanks, Niklesh. I think.
Yeah, let's
Abhijit
move forward
went-
on this game. I think people will be interested.
Yes,
in
but I think there's some kind of a delay, and we don't have the live feed for the entire game right now.
Okay.
So we could move to another game. Maybe I was very interested in this youngster Divya Deshmukh. Have you heard about her?
No, of course, Divya is one of the finest talents in the country today amongst the girls,
Yeah.
and long way to go. I think.
And she drew her game against
this
Guen
grandmaster.
Hoa Guen.
Yeah, Hua Goen, he just won the Bhopal. I was checking recently. I mean, like 1 day back, 2 days back, he won the Bhopal International Open
Yes.
solely.
Exactly.
And now this young girl has played out a draw with it. Let's have a look at the games.
So again a Sicilian, but this time Hoa tries to trick her with this A6 move, and you have this White plays very solidly.
Yeah.
Queen
Yes, of course.
C5, knight.
Divya has been just not making any mistake, which the grandmaster is hoping that a 12-year-old would make very quickly.
But if you look at it, I mean, just for all the viewers who are listening to this, White player is rated somewhere around 2000, Black is 2500, but what White has done has developed all her pieces, controlled the center, and she's made no real mistakes. So there is no chance that she's worse here.
No, there's no way that she'll be worse in such a situation. She's just been following what she has learned, which is the bare basics. Develop your pieces, try and occupy some things in the center, and that's been the case. And she has been following it to the letter. No reason why she would be worse with white pieces.
Right. Abhilash Darla asks, are there any good books on the openings?
Well, I highly recommend the Grandmaster Repertoire series, which is done by the Quality Chess publication based out of UK, and I use them for my students a lot. And it turns out that this is a very high quality material, which could be usable for like anyone who is, I think, 1800 plus.
Vishal, there is this. You are a very experienced trainer, and I think a very good opening expert as well. There are these things which people claim that when you start off chess, you must not focus on openings too much, work on your end games and middle games. Are you of that school of thought as well?
Okay, yeah, by and large, I would say yes, but these days the environment is a lot more competitive than it was when these notions were made and people accepted them like blindly. But these days, okay, you need some sort of a balance, but by and large, yeah, I think it's a good old school of chess and still holds good.
Right. Gaurish Baliga asks, which opening do you prefer to play, Sagar sir? Well, I think for me, my favorite opening has been with the white pieces to play something positional, so queen pawn opening or Reti or the English. I haven't really dabbled in e4 quite a bit. With black, I like to play some solid lines like Karo Khan and stuff. So my opening repertoire is solid but a little bit boring. So if you are a positional player, you can follow this. Maybe it's more like Karpovian to tell you the truth. This Swag Anna who asks, what is your opinion on Esipenko? I mean, Esipenko is...
Okay, he's the new Marshall. We've been missing Mr. Marshall for many years. I think Queen B3. I just can't forget that move. And if I remember right, I think Frank Marshall was the first player who played that move. That was Queen G6 on the other side
Queen
of the board.
Queen G3.
Queen G3, yeah.
The gold coins.
The gold coins. The story which says that he got a lot of gold coins having played that move. Well, Esipenko, of course, Queen B3, something very similar. A fantastic talent, obviously, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, sure. And when he made the move Queen B3, no one showered gold coins on him. But a lot of comments on the internet and Twitter was filled with this move Queen B3, and Grishchuk, I think, was playing on that joining board, who couldn't concentrate on his game. It was a beautiful move. Omkar Chakradev asks, can we meet Vishy at Mumbai? Yes, definitely you can. Come here on 7th. It's Mount Litera School in Bandra, not too far from where you live. AK Singh asks, Vishy is playing in Saudi. How can he meet you in Mumbai?
Well, we are still talking about 5 days away. I think if he starts walking towards Mumbai, he'll pretty much be in time. But he wouldn't do that, of course. So it's just a couple of hours away, a few hours from here, Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And Vishy will be, I'm sure he would love to spend the New Year with his family. So we expect him to be back in India tomorrow.
Right. And yes, other thing, there is one question which says, how to play against a player rated 500 or more? Is it necessary to play only aggressively?
Well, we just saw what Kiran Manisha Mohanty has done to Abhijit Gupta. That's approximately 500 points, 400 or near about. So,
aggression.
What you need aggression, but you need that aggression has to be controlled aggression. You can't be like a bull, just go barge in. So they will just dodge you if they are much stronger players, and at the end of the day you will be left sucking. So my point is that you need aggression, but it has to be controlled. So you first of all you need that will to win. So which I think is the first most important thing. So because I believe in this, that if the mind doesn't know, the eyes cannot see. So first we have to visualize those. I think it's pretty important that if we can think like we are going to win today, and we're going to try to win today, and not have thoughts like, okay, he's such a strong player, etc. So a positive mindset, that's where it all starts. So once you start with a positive mindset, and then things will fall in place at some point of time.
Right, and I think in order to believe in something, you have to do it. And once you start beating stronger players, you start believing in yourself. And that is why I think these international opens in India are so good. They give an opportunity to our youngsters to beat these grandmasters, foreign GMs who come and play here. And as you remember in Bhopal Open just a few days ago, this young boy Sohardo Basak, he's 1770, he beat Adam Tukhaev in first round, and as I said, his life will never be the same again, in a good way.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. Yeah, no, the point is pretty clear here that when a platform is provided, such platforms like the IIFL Wealth Tournament in Mumbai, or one in Delhi which is coming soon, and then there was one at Bhopal, there will be one at Chennai as well. Now these tournaments are perfect platforms for these kind of youngsters to get exactly the kind of exposure they need. They need international exposure. These are international events. We have plenty of them these days. Like 4 in a row is already too much.
Yes.
And well, we're still counting. I am sure that in the coming year it's going to grow more.
I was just before the round started today, I was talking with Ziaur Rahman outside, very strong player from Bangladesh, second GM of Bangladesh after Niaz Murshid, and he said at some point India had 5 GMs, Bangladesh had 2, and Bangladesh now has 5 and India has 50. And
yeah,
he attributed
true, yeah.
the reason for this to be just the number of tournaments being held in India.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I mean, I think if we count all the federating events that are held across the country, I think it's a staggering 150 plus tournaments, and I don't think anywhere in the world so many events are held. Probably China, but we wouldn't know about them.
Yes, for sure, and that's why we at Chessbase India have our hands full, actually, covering one event after the other. I mean, there's no rest. There's like, if you go to chess results, you will find hundreds of events being held in India. So amazing things going on in Indian chess, thanks to AICF and all these dedicated organizers.
Let's move on from this game, and
yes, for sure. Let's just make a few moves, and then we have a few more questions. Knight d5, queen b3, b6, c4, c5. I mean, Divya is pushing on. Look, c1.
Yeah, no, she's already knight in the heart of black's position. I think again this Queen Hua must have been
pretty happy with the draw.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Knight e4. Well, maybe f5 is a possibility, but I think it's very risky.
Yeah, knight g5 looks just over.
Looks very strong. Yeah. So rook b8, cb, queen b6.
Okay, here white again is playing for some advantage.
White has nothing to worry about, and after a few moves, the game ended in a draw. I think a very good result for Divya, and also I think Hoa might be happy to just not lose the first round over here. There is someone who said, let's look at the game by Parham Maksudlu, because I think he's in India for the first time, and
of course Parham is doing pretty okay, it seems.
Yeah.
But can he win this or not is the question.
So he's playing against Jishita, who recently won under 18, under 16 world or something.
Under 14 world title.
Under 14.
Yeah. That was at Brazil, yeah?
Yes. A few questions. Harris Nabil says, what do you think about English opening?
Well, no openings are bad. All established openings are pretty playable. There's nothing for or against going any of the openings these days, because a lot of extensive analysis is available, and also one can do their own analysis using the engines, etc. It's not that any opening is good or bad. It's just that how good that opening is for you. So as far as I follow it is in this way: an opening is only as good as your last game. If it suits you, it's good for you. If not, if you're losing consistently playing that one opening repeatedly, then it's not for you, and probably it's time to walk away.
Right, and I was there's one thing which I learned very recently. I mean, I didn't learn it, but if you are a Sicilian player, you might consider playing the English, because it's just colors reversed. So if you like to play the timer now, just go for c4 e3, and and you don't have to worry. That's the trick many players use.
Yeah, we saw Magnus did that against Vichy a couple of days back, and he was hammered.
Well, if you do something really crazy against Vichy, you have to
that was exactly
follow the
how,
consequences of that.
Yeah.
By the way, there is this in this position. This is the critical one. White is Maqsoodlu, and black is Jishita. And Maqsoodlu took on d5.
Wow, that's.
And after rook b5, a b5.
Yeah, it's just losing the exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, Jishita just gave up the exchange. Which
There's no way she could save it, because the b pawn is also going and the f pawn is falling. It's like black is in tatters. It's
right.
It's gone already.
So knight d5 was a good tactic. There was also, so after this, but I'm just wondering why the game became so interesting at certain point, or was it not? The b pawn started to roll down.
Oh, that's come very close, huh?
Yeah. And suddenly, I mean, from completely. And yeah, I think you can't play b2 here, because at even you play b1, I'll take, and d7 is coming. So king c6 is, I think, already winning the game. So she plays king b5 to stop the king from going to c6.
And now rook will come from behind and give check, and then the king can roll in. Yeah, no, it's over. I think it'll be an easy win for her.
Yeah. So Parham starts off with a win. Always good to have that. And this is accelerated pairing here. So all the top players are playing pretty decent opponents in the first round.
True, yeah. So
Gaurish Baliga asks, I always over-respect my opponent and accept draws in winning position against strong players. According to you, what should be the real aim in our mind while playing strong opponents? I think this seems the problem of a lot of players. Strong opponents not able to break through.
Okay, I think like you need to first start with a positive frame of mind. Like, you can do it only if you believe you can. Otherwise, it's just impossible. So I think the best results, not only in chess but in other walks of life, were achieved by people who believed in certain things. So first thing is that self-belief, which is an absolute must. We start from there, and what happens is, okay, there is always this fear factor. Obviously, if person who is 500 points higher or more, or a grandmaster, and we are let's say simply rated players, and obviously there is a certain gap between the strength. But frankly, if we watch tournaments the world over, like here today in Mumbai, you will find that there were a few upsets, and it happens in every round of every tournament across the globe every day. So those upsets are, I think, clear indication that, because essentially when we start a game, we start with the same, everything is same. It's like 16 pieces each, and the rules are same for both white and black. Okay, white plays the first move. But basically, essentially, if you see in chess, that parallel, there is not great difference, so you only have to be better than your opponent on that given day. And your opponent, even if for example Abhijit Gupta today, he made so many mistakes, as we just saw, and clearly, and this can happen to anyone. So a 2600 can play like a 2200 on some day, and a 2200 is pretty much capable of playing like a 2500 on any other day, which means that it depends of the kind of form you are in, the kind of mood you are in. You have to wake up, like when you wake up you should be absolutely fresh. I mean, this is how your day should start, and all good things will happen if you wake up fresh. I'm pretty sure about it.
Yes, and on this subject, I wrote an article which was David versus Goliath, and it was about my personal experience of facing a 2600 GM when I was 500 points rated below him. And it said that the only thing which I believed in at that point was that I had to make good moves on the board, one after the other. And I don't know, I mean, before I knew it, I already had a winning position, and although I did get a bit nervous, I won the game. And as I said, if you win one game, you start believing in yourself.
Yeah, it's a pretty clear psychology out there. It's like if there is a gap of like 300 points or more, normally in the mind of the higher rated player, it's a goner. Like he has already won it in his mind, and that's how most of them end up winning. But then the flip side of the coin is pretty interesting for the player who is rated lower, because what happens is, because the opponent already believes that he has won, so he will not be probably playing his best chess.
Sure. It's a nice point. And Omkar says, so can we say that chess itself is an unclear game?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Omkar.
Right. So we have one upset. Talking about upsets and to motivate you guys, Aditya Udeshi, who has been making a comeback to chess, lost his game against Tarini Goyal. Isn't Tarini from Delhi?
Yes, Sareen is not exactly from Delhi. Okay, she's from Chandigarh, but she's been training in Delhi and doing pretty well at it.
Get Abhijit in.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to look at Tarini's game. Abhijit finished his game, so maybe we
quickly
should
have a look at what the
I
result
don't
was.
know if we would be able to see it because there is a delay in the broadcast of Moose, but I
okay.
have a feeling that he might have lost this position.
Is it losing now? Knight, yeah, probably is.
So
Or he might have just drawn it.
what happened to your game? You drew the game. We need you to answer a few
come.
questions if you don't mind. We
Yeah,
can
welcoming Abhijit Gupta into the studio here, and
top seed.
it's a pleasure. Sagar, you take over the reign
Yeah, sure. I
from
will
me
just
now,
take
and
this.
we'll just quickly have.
No, one second. Press this out.
Yep. See you all. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks,
And we'll be
Vishal.
back soon. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for the great insights. And if you guys do beat a higher rated player, you can thank him. Okay, Abhijit, welcome to the studio. One question which I have to ask you at first is, why didn't you take the bishop on a6, or was it not hanging?
It was, but I didn't see how to stop the pawn with h6.
Knight g6,
h7,
knight h8,
rook h5,
rook f6,
rook g5,
rook f8,
rook g8,
King e7.
a4.
king f7, and
But
Right.
probably it was still better. I should make draw somewhere there. I mean, instead of what I did.
Okay, let's quickly, because we looked at your game,
Yeah.
not in great depth, but
No, I had a pretty good position after the opening.
g5, yeah, this is your prep.
Yeah, it has been played many times. Like I played myself once. This.
Okay, you need to come a little bit
So-
inside the frame, yeah.
So here, this all theory. A3 is supposed to be not so good. Probably
Just
here
a second.
already I can take rook c3.
I need to fix this thing because we have the name of Vishal and we have Abhijit here, so okay, that solves it. Yes, A3
Yeah,
was
probably.
not so good.
Yeah, here already I could take rook c3. And
So instead of bishop e7, you say
I mean
you
bishop
can
e7 was like sort of just a move, without any direct
Natural move,
idea.
yeah.
I mean,
But if you take a
knight
knight e4,
e4, yeah.
pd8,
knight c3 takes, and I mean take on c3, take on d8. I mean, I definitely have enough composition, but I don't know whether I'm better or not. But looks very pleasant to play this kind of stuff back.
yes.
I mean, I thought I should keep some tension with bishop e7, but probably it was not the right idea here. And now already the problem was, I mean, knight f3 is a good move because for some reason I thought like rook c3 is more or less forced.
It's coming, yeah.
Yeah. So, but now if after knight f3, I mean, my h8 rook is hanging, so I cannot play rook c3. So rook h5.
Rook h5 was a cool move.
Yeah, I don't know whether she has to play h4. I mean, she has number of moves here.
But you took, yeah.
Yeah,
Wanted to take.
I
it
wanted
out,
to take. Yeah, I wanted to take right from the start, which I didn't. Then, but this is, I think, I'm slightly better this endgame. Bishop e7, knight c3, bishop d8.
Yeah, was it necessary to take on d1? Could she not just go back here
Yeah, but I did knight f2.
and rook h2? g4 is not coming, so maybe you have a clamp on the position. so-
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe it's closer to equal, but I think I have still pretty decent chances to outplay her somewhere here.
So after
I mean,
what-
I could play maybe knight e4. I don't know whether it's possible, or you get g. No, you don't get g4. Yeah,
yeah,
and
knight
probably
g5.
the other knight to f6, g4. I mean, if I can stable the position, probably my this center pawn will start rolling. So
Yeah, the only thing you have to be careful is the
G4, yeah.
h4 pawn,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a scary thing. Okay, she took on d1, and I think after this, the only person who's playing for a win is you.
Yeah,
here,
yeah. Yeah, here I was not sure. Like I had many plans. I could play rook d5 also. I could not decide which will be more tough for her. King e1
Mm-hmm.
and knight h5. She has to take probably because
Yeah, f4 otherwise.
yeah,
would
f4
fall.
hangs, and this rook h5, and I wasn't really sure like
King
if she
f2 and
king is no. I mean,
you have
it's
f5
funny
for-
like if you put king to g3, then you'll have some problems. But if you just wait here with king f3, king e3, I didn't see how to make progress.
Sorry. Ah, yeah. So f5 here, and maybe you are the one who's playing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see how to make progress after king
E5,
f3. Then
Maybe e5, king f6,
Then-
and then just wait. Yeah.
yeah, I mean probably even play c3. I don't know.
Ah, okay.
Maybe I could still play this. Yeah, somewhere king e6, king d5, and
Mm. Not so
but
simple.
it's not heading. I mean, I'm not. I can't see a clear plan here. So
So, I mean,
I mean,
you-
my initial reaction was she should come to g3 and then move the rook. But if she does that, then I'll have e5 and I can remove my rook and somewhere play rook g8, rook g4 comes inside.
So you were saying that if she goes to g3 here,
I play e5,
yeah,
and I thought probably now she should activate her rook, but probably rook on h1 is the best square for the rook. But
Yeah,
if she
if you-
moves the rook, I can just play somewhere rook h8, and probably next move rook g8, rook g4 comes in, and yeah.
but if the rook is on h1, then the
Yeah,
h5
because
is
h5
already
yeah,
coming.
Yeah. Also now I'm thinking that maybe h5 she doesn't have she cannot play h5. I mean, I just go king f6 and it's okay. I mean it's another
It's a
story.
complex,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
isn't this some kind of a problem in the open events when you have a drawish position, but the gap of 500 points actually forces you to keep looking for wins?
No, but objectively, probably here I am slightly better anyway.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't see and without any risk to. I mean, this is kind of a two-result position, which the way I played it, it almost
became third.
it became almost a third result. So
But if you are facing a 25-50 GM in this position, it would have been much more fun than facing.
yeah,
a-
probably I would have played this, and usually, stronger the player is, it's difficult for them to just wait.
Right.
Where the weaker player, they can keep on waiting because if they don't see a plan, they just do.
They are okay,
They are
fine,
okay
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a problem, but I think you are very good at solving that because you won so many events. So okay, rook h6, h5, knight d5.
Yeah, this whole plan. I don't like this plan anymore. I mean, the way
Your
I did-
plan, yeah?
Yeah.
Because of
My-
c4 maybe.
No, my idea was actually king d2, e5. This all I saw, and takes c4. Initially, I wanted to play here knight f4.
Mm-hmm. And then take here.
Rook d6. This was my initial idea from far, like when I went for this.
Okay, king
Knight
e3
d4.
definitely loses to knight g2.
Yeah, king
so does
c2.
king e1.
Yeah,
so
king c2, knight e2. But this, I just forgot that I cannot stop the pawn. I mean, I can, but it will be
you have to
probably
give
I
up the
cannot
rook. No, you
stop the
ha-
pawn
oh,
anymore.
yeah.
Rook h6. Yeah, it's not what I had in mind. So now, I mean, here already. Yeah, I mean, here already her bishop on e2 is protecting everything, and I don't really see a plan for me. So
How
probably
about
somewhere.
just developing your king to f6? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean she can play also bishop f3, and I don't know what I'm doing. But here I was surprised that she took with the bishop, whereas rook takes c4 was I thought was much simpler.
For equality or for
Yeah,
already
for
starting
equality.
to play
No,
for
no,
an
no,
edge?
no, no, no. White cannot play for edge here.
Mhm.
I mean I can play knight f4 any moment and I can force a draw. I mean, but
Yeah.
I wanted to play something else here, but I don't know whether I'm.
Took here.
She took knight f4 and now she took on a6.
Did this come as a surprise?
No, I mean, when I played e5, I saw all this, but I didn't know what to do, and I was just hoping that she would not see it. I mean, what else can you do here?
Yeah, it's
So-
fair to hope for something, but when it happens, actually, you start repenting. Why did you go for it?
No, but if you see like couple of moves, I didn't really had much options, with I don't know how to pose more problems for her, and this position, it's not that easy, like to see everything here from far.
No, we
for her.
were like,
Yeah, we were discussing a couple of minutes back what was happening here, and,
and
this
we thought you missed something very obvious,
Yeah.
something, but definitely you did not.
and the problem is
Okay, let's assume you even lose the f5 pawn. Can you not just get your king in?
Yeah, but how?
So king e7,
Rook f5.
take, and now rook e6. Does it look
Rook
so
g5.
stupid?
I mean, any move practically here, even king e3. I don't think I can win this.
Yeah. No, not rook e6. What else could you do? She makes an easy draw, effortless. So the
Yeah.
critical line was actually rook f6.
Probably the best practical
Rook
chance was probably to play rook h6 and give up these pawns and take the s7 and play rook knight versus rook.
Oh,
I mean, I have various options.
this one, you mean?
No, I mean just to give up these two pawns and take her h6 pawns
Right.
and play rook knight versus rook.
Okay, that would be a draw, but yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
probably I can pose some problem.
So this was the critical line, and as you said, rook
Yeah.
g8, king e7, and we thought this is winning, but
Just
you have
a4.
a4.
Yeah, I didn't really see how to. I mean, she's getting a draw by one temple. Like if she takes now and play a4, then I just go king g7 and my knight is coming on time.
Hmm.
But now a4,
If
I
you go
mean,
here and then a5.
I don't. She can even take and play a5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, this probably I'm just lost. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice trap by her, I must say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the probably I can.
But now you are actually in danger, I would say, no?
Yeah, I didn't realize that I will be in danger. I mean, here I should play king d6, not king f6. It's ridiculous what I did here.
Mm-hmm.
King d6. I mean, a4. King comes in.
Yeah, you stopped those
I
pawns.
stopped those pawns. I mean, I'm not claiming I'm better, but probably still I can pose some practical problems to her.
Yeah. But okay, you were still.
Yeah, I
going
was.
to-
Yeah, just.
playing out of
somewhere else.
inertia, maybe. Something, king c3 and.
Yeah, here I've started to think, and I cannot make a draw anymore. Like, so.
Yeah, this is.
And here I was. I mean, this position I sort of missed a7. I mean.
Yeah, because if you go now.
No, because
F3,
I kept on
bishop
missing
c6.
rook a1 for
Yes.
some reason. I mean, it was
Rook 8,
very
rook
strange.
a1, f3, bishop c6 is just winning. Yeah.
Just winning. So I thought, okay, this is the best practical chance at least.
Yeah, rook a1.
No, I didn't play this though.
Now this was analysis, yeah.
Yeah, I played e4 here. Bishop c6, e3.
You complicated beyond measure, yeah, for her.
Yeah, but it's not
Okay,
that
queen,
complicated.
maybe?
Yeah, she did. This is what she played. Queens. I took. She took king g4. And what did she do? I think
Okay,
she
this position is winning for white,
for sure.
for sure. But somehow a lot of games are lost or drawn when a higher rated player is playing with black, which happened today as well. So what would your advice be for lower rated players in such positions who are playing white? How can they convert such positions?
I think by this point we had already made move 40, so she had
Plenty of
definitely half an hour to think, but she's sort of panicked. I don't know why, but I mean, my advice would be if you know for sure that this should be winning, but you just have to work out the moves. Just take a moment, take a breath, relax for a minute, and then start thinking.
So
again.
go out and
Yeah, I mean, normally even when you solve some positions, some studies or something like that, we tend to solve it quicker because we are having a fresh look on it. And the same way, if somebody gives you such kind of position, it's much easier to think from move 1 rather than, you know, like we have already played move 40 now.
Yeah.
So for you, if it's like the starting position, you will convert this very easily.
Because no, emotions are not
yeah,
attached.
yeah, exactly. So my advice would be just take a break for a minute or two. Have some water, something, whatever you have there, and yeah, start again.
For people who smoke, this might be easy to do. Yeah, just go out and smoke. Okay. Anyway, so now
She played king c3
yeah,
and f3.
and she took on
Yeah,
F3.
I mean, probably she missed my next move. I mean, after taking, but she could play here.
No, but
The easiest win thought was king d3
Mm-hmm.
and
F2
takes and king e2. And now the funny thing is king f4 now.
I can just go bg2. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go bishop g2 as well. I mean, yeah, I
Just
just
lost,
I
yeah?
just lost. Yeah,
King here
g3,
and here,
king back.
and then maybe just bishop h3.
No, easiest was I thought you could just play b4 b5.
Yeah, even that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I manage to somehow miraculously get my king to this side, then
Okay,
probably
so
I
bishop
can make
h3
it.
is not a good move. King d4 maybe.
It doesn't
Get
matter.
close.
King f. It matters now.
So rather than just
b4, I guess.
here, it's
Somewhere.
bishop f1,
Yeah,
king
just
f4.
put your bishop on f1, put b4,
and
b5,
b5. Yeah.
and yeah.
You have to go and stop the pawn, and then you lose
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Ah, that would have been.
yeah. Not very pleasant for sure.
So f3 important was to go king d3. She panicked sort of, and she took here.
No, probably she just missed. Like she played king d3 and she thought that it's just lost.
Mhm.
But I have knight e4 here.
It's a cute move. Yeah? I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe that this should be a draw. But your knight does all sorts of knight.
But I
F2.
think now, I mean, her king cannot come to e1, and if she cannot get that, I don't think it's. I mean, she can win this.
Yeah, knight f2 and e2 is a threat here. So
I mean,
so
not
maybe-
e2, but I'll just keep my knight on f2 and go
Yeah.
back and forth. I mean, I'm still
So what
not
if
sure.
I just push? I mean, I'll just be direct and
Probably check.
I'm all ready to sack the pawn. So king d4, and then b5, b6. I think
I don't know, man.
it looks really bad. Yeah, b5 and
Yeah,
there's
just
no
go
way
back a bit. I mean, maybe not knight f2 check, maybe something else. Maybe can I play e2?
you want to come king f2
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but let's say I do this,
And knight f2.
and now I go king d4.
Knight g4.
I think you will not be in time to stop.
No,
the
I'm
pawn,
in
yeah?
time. King f2. I mean, I have knight f6, knight d7. So
So take and.
yeah.
But what if I block your knight? Or
No,
I
these
cannot- no,
positions.
this cannot work. Yeah.
Cannot work.
b6.
Knight f6 and knight d7.
And then the knight with b pawn is always a draw because the knight can keep jumping around.
But it was still tricky, to be honest. Like, but once she missed this knight e4 idea, she had given up. You know.
Yeah, she must have felt the win is no longer easy. So
Yeah.
okay, sorry, this didn't happen. Yeah.
No.
After knight e4, rook
Knight
e1. Yeah.
Yeah. Now knight c5 is important. I mean, it's most easiest.
King
way of
d4.
King d4, knight e6.
Nice.
Yeah. Now.
So once you take the king away from
Yeah.
the pawn, and then you're
Yeah, she just played king d3, knight
and you
f4.
drew.
No, I probably played knight f4 and played e2, you know, just to make sure. I mean, knight c5, king c4, she can still play, but it's a draw, but she can play for a bit. Here I'm just forcing a draw, e2, and I just win.
You played e2. Right. So
Yeah.
Abhijit, tough first round, but I think a draw at the end was a okay result. But
yeah, I mean, I didn't deserve to win this game because the way I played from the beginning, I mean, I had such a good opening position, but I just sort of, I don't know, took it too easily, or
Mhm.
I don't want to use the word easy, but probably I was more relaxed, you know. So, yeah, I didn't deserve to win, probably I deserve to lose in the end, but yeah.
Yeah, and overall, how are you happy with the conditions of the tournament?
No, it's pretty good. Like the hall is quite nice. Only thing is, it was too cold probably inside the hall, and I forgot to bring my jacket or something.
And you were
so-
all alone at the top. the
Yeah,
top
so it
board.
gets even more colder.
Tomorrow you won't have that problem now.
Yeah.
But it's not a not a happy feeling
Yeah.
to go down. But anyway, it's like the top board is at the top and the other boards are downstairs. But Abhijit, we know what a fighter you are, and we are sure that you will make a comeback in this tournament. And as everyone says, you are definitely one of the favorites. So good luck.
Thank you so much.
So, guys, we have been on air for now nearly 1 hour 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. And well, just as a parting note, Rajarishi Kumar Singh says, Abhijit bhai has bhi liya karo. So, well, Abhijit is smiling for now. And Omkar says that's a compliment for Mumbaikars that it was cold. No, Omkar, it's not about the Mumbai climate. It's inside the hall. The air condition is just too cool. So we have had this good session. One thing which I'm very happy is that there were no interruptions today. We had excellent condition internet here, and I think we will be coming live more often from this tournament in the morning as well, where youngsters like Gukesh, Pranav, Leon, Divya, all these youngsters are playing, while in the open we have Abhijit Gupta, Timur Garev, Parham Maksudlu, a lot of battles. So live commentary will be very active here. We'll get top GMs in. We have in our team Amruta, who's here with us, Shubham Kumtekar, Niklesh Jain. So all of us will be alternating along with Vishal Sareen over here in the hall. So when will be the new round started? That's Sanjay Goswami asking. The tomorrow's round will begin at 9:30 in the morning, and the open, that's under 13, and the open round will be at 4. So this is one tournament where there will be single rounds every day, a very welcome change for all the players, no double rounds. And on the last day, Vishy Anand will be here. That's something to look forward to, the world rapid champion. And any more questions? Omkar says, thanks Sagar, excellent job. Well, I'm glad you all enjoyed it, and we make sure that you subscribe to our channel, that if you haven't, and keep following this tournament on Facebook, Twitter, and on all the social media. It's going to be very active, and for reports, go to Chessbase India. It's going to be nice. So see you and see you tomorrow in the morning.